Within every legend, there lies not a simple truth, but a mirror. You standing here today, do you have the courage to look into its depths? This is how great voyages begin, not with a storm, but with a story told by firelight. The old monk speaks of an island he reached almost by accident, a land of eternal spring where grapes grow without tending and the sun never sets. He describes scents that heal the soul. Brendan listens, but his eyes are on the empty spaces on his map, the spaces marked, "Here be monsters." What if the monsters are just stories we tell to cover our fear of the blank space? What if the greatest promise lies exactly there, in the unknown we've been taught to fear? In a world saturated with information, when was the last time a story made you rearrange the entire map of your reality? Faith has given him an anchor, but now that same faith is asking him to cut the rope. The promise of a heavenly paradise is one thing, but a paradise of earth and water, reachable by mortal hands, that is a different kind of test. It turns belief into a dare. To stay is to be safe, devout, certain. To go is to risk everything, his life, his authority, even his soul, for a whisper on the wind. We all stand at our own cliffs. The job that feels too risky, the love that feels too vast, the dream that laughs at practicality. What is the ocean you're staring into, and what is the cross in your hand that makes you wonder if you should stay or go? He doesn't promise treasure. He doesn't promise safety. He promises only a question and a sea that might swallow them whole. Look at their faces. This is the true miracle of the first step. It's not the courage of one man, but the fragile, collective yes of a group who chose doubt over certainty, exploration over dogma. They are not following a leader. They are embracing a shared madness that makes more sense than the sane world they leave behind. In our age of individualism, what kind of shared madness could still bring us together? What question is profound enough for you to leave your personal shore for a collective voyage into the unknown? Watch closely. This is where the dream touches the earth. They aren't just building a boat. They are stitching their faith into every seam. The ox hide was armor for a beast. Now it becomes a skin for their souls. The wood was a tree rooted and certain. Now it becomes a frame for uncertainty. This coracle is the perfect metaphor for a leap of faith. Fragile, ridiculed by the scale of the challenge, but perfectly designed to float on the surface of immense depths if you dare to get in. What in your life is this coracle? The project that feels too humble, too exposed to carry your biggest hope. Look at their faces. No triumphant cheers. Only a quiet, terrifying awe. Blessing the boat isn't asking for safe passage. It's surrendering to the possibility that there may be none. It's acknowledging that this vessel of skin and prayer may become their tomb. This is the ultimate act of trust, to pour your life into a fragile shell and then push it with your own hands into the mouth of the unknown. We think of courage as charging forward, but true courage often looks like this: a slow, silent walk into the water, holding hands with your own fear. What is the shore you need to walk away from? And what are you truly surrendering when you finally let go? And then the world changes. The solid line of the shore melts into memory. There is only the rhythm of the wave and the breath of the wind. The first test is not a monster, but perspective. From here the monastery is just a smudge of stone. The self you were is a story told on a distant shore. The journey has truly begun when the way back is erased by the horizon. There's no going back to who you were before you set sail. The first island offers everything they could physically want: food, warmth, comfort, giant sheep whose wool could clothe a kingdom. But nothing here is of normal scale. The abundance itself is a warning. It asks a subtle question. Will you take more than you need simply because it's there? Will you mistake strange, easy provision for divine blessing? In our world of endless consumption, this is the first temptation, the island that screams, "Take me." But true sustenance for a journey isn't about filling the belly. It's about strengthening the spirit to leave fullness behind for an unseen promise. And then the ultimate betrayal. The solid ground itself is alive. The very foundation they trusted, to rest, to pray, to celebrate their faith, was a sleeping giant. The lesson is brutal. Not everything that holds you up is land. Some sanctuaries are predators in repose. How many of us build our little fires, sing our certainties on the back of something we completely misunderstand? A job, a relationship, a belief that feels solid until it wakes up and dives into the deep. Faith isn't about ignoring the tremors. It's about knowing when to run back to your fragile, honest boat. Finally, a wonder that offers no danger, no sustenance, no answer, only pure, incomprehensible beauty. The crystal column doesn't care if they live or die. It simply is. It is the universe's own art, forever separate from human need. This is the test of humility. Can you stand before something profoundly beautiful and not claim it, not explain it, not turn it into a symbol for your own story? Can you simply let it be and let it change you in ways words cannot capture? Sometimes the greatest wisdom isn't found in a lesson, but in learning how to stand in silence before a question that has no answer. After years of tempests and monsters, they find it, but this is not a victory. It is an encounter with the unimaginable. The Promised Land offers everything the soul could crave: beauty without decay, peace without conflict, abundance without labor. Yet its perfection is a mirror. It reflects back not what they are, but what they are not. It is a world without need, without story, without a self. Can a human, forged in struggle and defined by longing, truly live in a place that has no need for either? Sometimes the most perfect answer reveals the most flawed and therefore human question. And here Brendan faces the true test, not of endurance but of integrity. To stay is to claim the divine for himself, to make a home in a dream. But he understands a terrible and beautiful truth. A pilgrim cannot become a citizen of paradise. It would undo the very journey that made him who he is. His calling was not to find this land, but to seek it. The seeking was the meaning, so he makes the impossible choice to turn his back on heaven, not because it isn't real, but because he is. His humanity, with its flaws, its longing, its story, is his true covenant. What perfect paradise in your own life, a job, a relationship, an idea of yourself, might you need to leave, precisely because it asks you to stop growing? He returns to the same cliffs, the same sea. No treasure, no map, only a story. And in the end, isn't that the only true spoils of any great journey? The maps we redraw inside our souls. The old man by the fire understands now. The promised land was never a place. It was the courage to sail. It was the eyes that saw the whale not just as a monster but as a wonder. It was the heart that chose the difficult human path over easy paradise. His legacy is not a discovered country but a question he ignites in every listener. What unknown sea are you refusing to sail, waiting for a guarantee that will never come? Your whale, your silent island, your promised land, they are all waiting. But the first and final miracle is the coracle, and you have always had the hands to build it. And so the tale ends, so that your own may begin, with all its cracks and honorable scars. We do not forge perfect heroes here. We witness humans. The next time the chill of uncertainty bites, remember,